In a serendipitous twist of fate, Amanda and Katey, separated at birth, embarked on a remarkable journey that defied the bounds of time and distance. 33 years later, their paths converged, igniting a tapestry of emotions and unanswered questions. Bound by blood, yet strangers in life, their reunion became a nexus of curiosity, intrigue, and unyielding connection. Amidst the echoes of their shared past, Amanda and Katey embarked on a quest for identity, unlocking the profound mysteries of their intertwined existence. Join us as we embark on an emotional rollercoaster filled with twists, turns, and heart-stopping disclosures. But our story doesn't end here. It's just the beginning. To witness every moment, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, leave your thoughts in the comments, and share this incredible journey with your friends and family. Now let's dive into the heartwarming tale of separated twins, reunited after 33 long years. Amanda Dunford and Katey Bennett were born in Seoul, South Korea, to a young couple who, due to various circumstances, were unable to care for them. Soon after their birth, they were separated and placed into different orphanages. Amanda was adopted by an American family and raised in California, while Katey was adopted by a British couple and grew up in London. Despite being continents apart, both girls grew up with a sense of longing, feeling that something was missing from their lives. As they reached adulthood, they both embarked on separate journeys to uncover their origins. Through the help of DNA testing and dedicated research, they eventually discovered each other's existence. Their reunion was a mix of emotions, joy, disbelief, and a deep-seated connection that they couldn't explain. As they delved into their shared past, they uncovered the circumstances that led to their separation and adoption. Though they had missed out on growing up together, they were determined to make up for lost time and forge a strong bond as sisters. Their story captivated many, shedding light on the complexities of adoption and the enduring power of familial bonds. Amanda and Katey's journey serves as a reminder that even in the face of separation and adversity, love and connection can prevail. Amanda Dunford, who was adopted from South Korea and found out she likely had a twin sister when she was around 7 years old, used the DNA test from 23andMe to see if she had any diseases or allergies. But the real reason she used the test, according to WTKR, is that she hoped she'd find a blood relative. Dunford, who is a chief petty officer in the Navy, currently stationed in Virginia Beach, religiously checked her email for any hopeful update. Then one night, she got the message of her dreams. "It says you might be my sister," read the email from a woman named Katey Bennett, who lives in California. Dunford remembers that she shot out of my bed and thought, "This is too easy." "I felt like we were going to find each other when we were old and grey and she could be in Korea," she told the news outlet. Once they connected over the phone for 9 hours straight, she says it felt like we just picked it up so easily. They quickly realized they had similar interests, including their love for 80s action star Dolph Lundgren. She added, "We have a lot to catch up on. It's so effortless to talk to her." While Dunford knew for decades she had a twin, Bennett, on the other hand, was in complete disbelief. "It just can't be real. I had gone my whole life with such doubt I'd ever find anyone blood-related to me that I didn't want to be let down, so it was easier to deny it and say it's not real," Bennett told WTKR, "because I didn't want to let my barriers down and believe it." But once they did find each other, Dunford said, "It's crazy that you just have this instant love for someone and a connection," said Dunford. Adopted as a young child from Seoul, South Korea, and despite growing up bereft of any blood relative, Chief Mass Communications Specialist Amanda Dunford knew she had a twin. Her American parents told her what they knew of her background and history when she was 7. For decades, she was aware there was someone out there she desperately wanted to meet, to get to know, and to talk to, about literally everything. Yet there was nothing for her to work with to track her down. Amanda had no name, no address, no paperwork on her biological family, nothing but the knowledge that she had a sister who had also been adopted. She grasped at a straw in 2013 and took a DNA test from the website 23andMe. 4 tedious and exhausting years later, she perused her emails before going to sleep one night in September 2017. She had stopped glaring at the computer screen long ago, hoping against hope for that miraculous update. And only as a matter of habit, she clicked on an email from 23andMe and opened a tentative note that said only, "I think I might be your sister." Accompanying information from the website stated it was a 100% match. Amanda almost jumped up out of the covers. I sat straight up in bed and said, "I found her." There wasn't much sleep to be had that night, as Amanda typed furiously on the keyboard, searching for anything she could find online about her new sister, Catherine Katey Marie Bennett. Finding her profile on Facebook, Amanda saw photographs that helped her new reality sink in. It seemed weird, as her picture looked just like me. She downloaded one of the photographs and sent it to her younger sister, Marissa, as a way to break the news. Marissa received the photo and commented simply, "It looks fine." Amanda replied excitedly, "Yeah, but it's not me." The moment gave Katey Bennett goosebumps. Scrolling through the pictures on Amanda Dunford's Facebook page, Bennett saw herself with people she didn't know, in places she'd never been. Days before, she had never even heard of Dunford. Now she was staring at a face identical to her own. Then a message popped up. It was Dunford. "We're sisters," it read. "Twin sisters." DNA testing had brought the 33-year-olds together for the first time since they were adopted as babies by different families. For Dunford, a Navy chief stationed in Virginia Beach, it ended years of wondering, guessing, and agonizing about where her sister was, who she was, or if she was still alive. Bennett, who works at the Beverly Hills Hotel in California, was shocked. She had no clue she had a twin. "I always wondered about things," Bennett said, like her birth parents and whether she had any siblings, "but I just can't imagine what the years must have been like for Amanda, knowing but not knowing. This is such a relief for her." The two were dropped off at a Seoul, South Korea orphanage as infants. Bennett was adopted within weeks, while Dunford stayed until she was 2. But a trip to the doctor by Dunford, coincidental 23andMe's ancestry service DNA tests, and a huge stroke of luck changed both their worlds. Dunford was getting a routine medical procedure done, but didn't have any background information for the medical forms. She used the genetic tests, which reveal health and ancestry information, to get a few answers. Meanwhile, months later, Bennett and her adoptive parents all decided to take the test just out of curiosity. "I wanted to know how Korean I was," Bennett said. "Turns out it's only 53%, with some Chinese and Japanese." Then she read the family results, where the test usually shows possible distant cousins. "Something like 180 relatives of various degrees of separation," she said, "and one that said I had a 23 out of 23 chromosome match with someone. It said I had a twin sister." Although the twins texted each other from the very beginning, Katey was apprehensive about speaking on the phone. For more than a week, she resisted Amanda's request to talk or Skype on the phone. "She was a blank slate," Amanda said. "I had years to process that I had a sister. She didn't know." Katey had trouble accepting the results as real. She pondered not even replying when she received the results, but her family urged her on. "We can't be twins," she thought. "That's just too crazy. Once Katey felt comfortable enough to take the next step and place the call, it was like a dam had burst. Their first conversation was about 9 hours long as they tried to fill an empty well of knowledge, 33 years in the making. "It felt like having a best friend that you have had for years," Katey explained. "Who knows what you think and what you are going to say, but instantaneously." Most of the conversation was spent learning about each other's lives, likes, dislikes, adopted families, and a wealth of other information that most siblings take for granted. But the more they conversed, the more Katey realized the freaky similarities in their lives. They both love true crime dramas, both failed math in school, both excel in English, both love the same movies, and more. Amanda was having difficulty finding a job she liked after school. Marissa had joined the Air Force, so Amanda checked that recruiter first. She didn't feel it was right for her, but remembered a history teacher in high school talking about his days in the Navy. She did her homework on the various Navy job fields in advance. She entered the Navy recruiter's office and, despite having never touched anything other than a disposable camera before, told him, "It is photographer's mate or nothing." "I was looking for a job where I could be creative," she said. "I saw the photographer and knew that's the job I wanted." Katey supports her sister's career, as an appreciation for military service is one of many things they have in common. Much like Amanda, she considered a military career. "I had looked into the Navy my senior year in high school. I talked to some recruiters at my high school when they came and thought it might be something I wanted to do," Katey said. "I changed my mind, but when I learned about Amanda, I felt proud. I think the Navy is awesome and feel like her career is a great accomplishment." Amanda is currently the operations chief for the Naval Public Affairs Support Element, NPAs, east in Norfolk, Virginia, where she trains and supervises junior mass communication specialists as they augment public affairs staff for special events, major exercises, and overseas deployments. She also deployed aboard the USS Nassau, LHA-4, as her first command before transferring to the Armed Forces Network, AFN, at Suda Bay, Crete, and later to Joint Forces Command at Norfolk. "My time in the Navy has been everything I hoped and more," Amanda said. "I'm truly privileged to have the people in my life that I do." But there was still that one individual that she had yet to meet in person and fully include in her life. Since their life-altering introduction, Katey and Amanda check in with each other nearly every day. The regular exchange of messages and conversations met every expectation for which the two had hoped. "It's funny that we sound the same on the phone and we say some of the same things, even though we are separated," Amanda said. "It's weird having someone with so many similarities off the bat." She was so excited that she went on the 23andMe site to tell her story. Amanda didn't realize that the site had contacts with the Today Show. Producers reached out to the sisters and asked them if they would like to come out to an event and meet for the first time on the show. The twins agreed, and the show producers and 23andMe arranged for their flights to New York. The 23andMe team worked with the Today Show producers to keep the two girls separated during their first night in New York. They were kept in different areas of the city to ensure they would not accidentally meet. The next day, Katey was taken to the studio an hour earlier than her sister and kept in separate makeup rooms. Amanda paced a path on the carpet in a waiting room with no monitor to ensure she couldn't watch the show while Megyn Kelly interviewed her sister. Finally, after an agonizing wait, they brought her out. "I was incredibly nervous about being on TV. I didn't know what the stage looked like or anything," Amanda said. "They opened the door and I was like, whew, that's a lot of people. Then I saw Katey and everything else just went away. Amanda noticed immediately that they didn't look the same anymore, but that there was no mistaking the similar features. The two stepped toward each other and embraced. Amanda says she knows. They sat down next to Kelly, but that she doesn't remember the rest of the show. It was a great feeling to finally get the chance to touch her and hug her, she said. It was such a big moment for me to finally get to hold her. Katey's reaction was nearly the same. I felt like she was the only person I saw when the door opened. I couldn't stop looking at her because she looked so similar to me. My mind was just completely blown. Despite the miles and the drastic time difference, the twins are already working on how to stay in contact. Katey is planning a trip to Asia and is hoping that they may even learn more about their shared history. Finding each other after 33 years apart, they are determined that nothing will separate them again. April 10th is National Sibling Day, and for Amanda Dunford and Katey Bennett, the holiday is extra exciting this year. Why? Because the 33-year-olds recently discovered that they're identical twins, and they just met as adults for the first time. When Amanda signed up for DNA testing service 23andMe, her main hope was to find her twin. The closest relative I found was maybe a fourth cousin, she said. I wouldn't say I lost hope, but I lost a little interest. Katey, meanwhile, had no idea that Amanda existed, as said earlier. However, she told Today that around 3 years ago, she started to feel like she might have another sibling out there. It turns out that Katey, who lives in California, took the test 4 years after Amanda, and she was told that she had a 100% DNA match with the sister she'd never met. I was a little skeptical at first, Katey told womenshealthmag.com. It was hard to wrap my head around after going 33 years not knowing I had any siblings, let alone an identical twin. The sisters realized they had a lot in common. They both failed algebra in high school, passed their driver's test the second time, and ate food fast. They finally met face to face on Today in November. It was a strange feeling when I first saw her and gave her a hug. It felt like I was hugging myself, Katey told womenshealthmag.com. It was shocking, but we had an instant bond. Amanda lives in Virginia Beach, and Katey lives in California, so distance is an issue. But Katey says that Amanda is coming to visit in June with her son Patrick. I'm excited to meet him for the first time, she said. Katey says that she and her sister have a great relationship now. We're super close and talk almost every day, even if it's just through text message, she said. When we talked about each other's personality, we both said we weren't much of a crier, Dunford said. Added Bennett. When she walked out, it was like looking into a mirror that came to life. Oh my goodness, what a strange feeling, but it was so nice. On Christmas Day, the Korean broadcasting system aired the first of a 5-part series documenting the turn of events to find one or both of their biological parents. That would be an extra chapter in the strange tale the two never thought would be told. Someone would have to see the show and come forward and be tested, Bennett said. We were abandoned in a basket on the street with no information. They had to guess everything about us. Bennett contacted the orphanage several years ago and gave them all her information in case someone came forward. Dunford said she would like to know the particulars about why the two were given up. I have absolutely no ill feelings towards them, she said. I know it wasn't an easy choice. It must have been some extreme circumstances. Both said meeting their biological parents would not affect their relationships with their adoptive parents. They are my parents, and nothing would change that, Bennett said. I know Amanda feels the same, but some closure would be nice. My life had been kind of confusing to this point, with no sense of who you are and all that. But now I have a sister, and it is amazing. It is amazing to know that 33 years of separation had not diminished the bond that pulsed between them, a connection forged in the depths of their souls. In their eyes, they saw mirror-red reflections of their existence, a shared history written in the lines of their faces. Each word exchanged was like a melody, resonating with the harmony of long-lost symphonies. Time seemed to stand still as they embraced, a whirlwind of emotions enveloping them in a cocoon of love and longing. As they gazed into each other's eyes, they realized that their reunion was not just a chance encounter, but a testament to the power of destiny. Their lives had taken different paths, but fate had brought them back together, weaving their stories into a tapestry of redemption and renewal. In that fleeting moment, they knew that they were no longer two separate souls, but two halves of a whole, reunited at last. And as they walked hand in hand into the unknown future, they did so with a newfound sense of purpose and belonging, their hearts forever intertwined in the timeless embrace of kinship and love. If you were captivated by this breathtaking story, don't miss out on future twin stories. Hit that like button, subscribe for notifications, and drop a comment to share your thoughts. Your support means the world to us as we continue to craft and share compelling tales. Stay tuned for more adventures that will whisk you away on unforgettable journeys. Thank you for being a part of the Twin TV channel. See you in our next video.